What really happened between the two BTS members to make the ARMY wonder? Jungkook, who usually chooses to remain silent when rumors start circulating, this time finally decided to open his voice. But even more surprising, his confession directed the spotlight to Taehyung, better known as V, who later expressed deep regret for something he once did. Many are guessing, is it about the moment that the camera captured backstage? Or maybe it's a conversation on social media. Jungkook did not directly mention the details, but his tone showed that this was not a trivial matter. Sometimes, small things can be big if we don't talk about it right away, he said briefly but meaningfully. Meanwhile, Taehyung appears to be holding back his emotions when asked to explain. He only said that he didn't expect his actions to have such an impact and hoped to turn back time to fix everything. These clues make many fans even more curious. Is it about their friendship, a group secret, or just a private moment that was accidentally exposed? What is clear? The reaction of both brought an emotional shock to the fans. Amid the glitter of the stage and the cheers of millions of spectators, these two figures show that they remain human beings with feelings, wounds, and regrets. Until now, the mystery behind the confession has still not been fully revealed, and ARMY can only hope that the two will continue to maintain the relationship that has been BTS's strength. But in the midst of a wave of curiosity, one detail appeared that made the atmosphere even more heated. A staffer who claimed to have been at the scene divulged that the moment took place backstage, during preparations for an important performance. According to her, there was a small misunderstanding that led to unpleasant feelings between the two. Although there was no major quarrel, the situation was enough to make the atmosphere stiff. Jungkook, in a statement, stressed that their relationship remained good, but he felt the public needed to know that regret is real and not just a gimmick to attract attention. On the other hand, Taehyung admitted that he had felt guilty for too long. "I just want people to know that even among friends, there are things that sometimes make us learn to appreciate more," she said, looking down, and this is where the mystery deepens. Some close sources mention that in fact the incident involved not just one brief moment, but a series of situations that accumulated over the months. There are unintentional sentences, misinterpreted gestures, and busy schedules that make the opportunity to understand each other even narrower. Jungkook himself, in a calm but heavy tone, said, "Sometimes we don't realize that silence can hurt as much as words." This sentence sparked a wave of discussion among fans, who began to wonder, does this mean Jungkook feels like Taehyung has been holding onto something for too long? Or is it just the opposite? He who feels guilty for not responding immediately. Taehyung, on the other hand, seemed to hold back a bitter smile when asked to respond at the end of the interview. "I'm sorry because I knew I could have done better, but I didn't," she said softly. There are no additional details, no full explanation, just a gaze that seems to store hundreds of unspoken stories. Now, between the cheers of the stage and the flashes of the cameras, there was a thin distance that only the two of them could bridge. The fans kept guessing, while the two chose to leave a quiet space that actually made the curiosity burn even more. Will they one day open it all? Or will this story be buried as a secret friendship that only Jungkook and Taehyung understand? A few days after that statement, the BTS fandom atmosphere felt like it was waiting for an explosion that didn't come. Every new post from Jungkook or Taehyung on social media is immediately flooded with comments looking for signs whether they have reconciled completely, or there is still some distance left unbridled. Even a simple photo backstage could spark lengthy theories from fans trying to read their body language. What makes this situation even more compelling is how the two keep running their group schedules and personal projects with professionals, as if nothing had happened. Smiles were still etched on their faces on stage, but observant fans admitted they could see a slight difference in the way they looked at each other. Not a cold look, but something more complex, a mixture of guilt, understanding, and longing for a once-cracked familiarity. Behind all that, rumors continue to grow. Some say that this event started from an important decision Taehyung made without telling Jungkook first. Some have speculated that it has to do with a private moment that was never made public, perhaps something too sensitive to talk about in public. However, what was most thrilling was Jungkook's last words in a radio interview, delivered in a half-whispered tone. "Sometimes, secrets are not to be hidden, but to be kept." That sentence seemed to be the final straw, making the fans aware that perhaps whatever was going on between them was not to be solved by the public, but rather to be cared for by their own friendship. Time goes on, but public curiosity does not subside. Each subsequent BTS performance became a mark hunt for fans. A touch of the shoulder, a small smile, or even a standing position on the stage, all analyzed as if they were pieces of a puzzle that could reveal the true story. In the midst of the hustle and bustle, an unexpected incident occurred during concert abroad. In the middle of the song, Taehyung suddenly steps towards Jungkook and pats him on the back with a smile.
For ordinary people, it's just a simple interaction.
But for ARMY who have followed the story, the moment feels like a gesture, as if there's a message that only the two of them understand. The media began to speculate whether it was a sign that tensions had completely melted. But some of the more cautious fans actually see it as code, that this story is still going on, and that what is shown in front of the public is only a small part of the truth. There were no official clarifications, no lengthy statements, only small pieces scattered like a puzzle. And that's where the strength of this story is. It doesn't need exhaustive answers to stay alive. That mystery is now part of their journey, part of a relationship that may never be fully understood by the public. Because in the end, it's not about what happens, but how they choose to keep it. And under the spotlight of the stage lights, perhaps the two had forgiven each other long before the world knew it.